It starts in late May, and once it starts, it doesn't ever stop. It is 24 hours of poker, 7 days a week, goes all the way through the entire month of June and through most of July. It's in complete locura, total madness. But hopefully with a little bit of research and a little bit of planning, we can try to make sense of it. So in this first little preview video, I want to take a look at the schedule and just break it into a 7-week period from start to finish. It seems like the WSOP nowadays is broken up with these marquee events that happen on the weekend, and they're usually the lower buy-in, high field mega events. And then some of the high rollers as well, some of the championship events. Most of the 2Ks, 5Ks, those happen during the midweek. And there's even a few lower buy-ins that happen in the midweek. It's just a lot to really unpack, so let's get started. I think the entire event, wire to wire, is 8 weeks long. It starts on a Tuesday and slowly builds up to its first weekend. The first day, Tuesday, May 30th, it starts with the Casino Employees event, event number 1. It is not an open event, but it does get the action started. Now, the cash has already started. King's Room is starting to open. King's Room is the higher buy-in cash area that is sponsored by King's Resort, where it just has nicer tables and very comfortable plush chairs. The attendance, the service is great in there. And then there's your standard cash area that also runs, as well as the daily deep stack tournaments, which they offer every day for the next 8 weeks, and the megas, the satellite tournaments, and the sit and go tournaments, the sit and go area. Everything starts to get kicked off this first week. But we'll focus more on the day-to-day in some videos to come. Right now, let's just break it down into the weekends. So as we work towards that first weekend, it is the $1,000 Mystery Million. Now, last year, they ran this closer to the end of the series, and it was amazing. It had, in my opinion, outside of the main event, this was the most electric event that there was with everyone. There was $1 million mystery bounty, and really they played it up. People would knock other players out and get their bounty. They would go up to draw an envelope. Just a really, really fun event, and give someone a chance to win $1 million outside of, winning the tournament. Great idea to put it at the beginning of the series. I think that first weekend is going to be off the chain. The final flight is Friday, June 2nd, and I think it's a 3-day event from there. Now, the second week is also going to be madness. The $300 Gladiators of Poker No Limit Hold'em event. This is the lowest buy-in open bracelet event, and it has several starting flights. It's going to be another one of those Colossus, house warmer, just total madness, 20, 30,000 entrants. It's going to be a great weekend. The weekend following that into mid-June will be the Monster Stack, which is a $1,500 buy-in. It's also a very popular event, been going on for a few years. You start with 50,000 in starting chips and 60-minute round standard for a $1,500 buy-in. It's going to be another really good event. Moving on to the next weekend, we have the Millionaire Maker, another one of these marquees that's been around for a few years, $1,500 buy-in, very similar to the other event, but it's guaranteed $1 million first prize. You only start with the standard $25K in chips, but always a really, really popular event. Anytime you can make $1 million in one sitting, it just seems to really draw a lot of people. Following that, we have Colossus. This event will be the weekend of June 30th. That is a $400 buy-in, similar to the Gladiators of Poker. Colossus has gone down in attendance each year, but still turns out, 10K plus entrants, and probably going to continue to be pretty massive this year, just because it's one of these weekend marquee events that just really really gets the people out. Following that, we're going to have the main event starting, and so it will be main event weekend, but as always, there's 15 different tournaments going on at the same time. The 777 tournament. So for those who don't want to drop the 10K on the main event, they have the Lucky Sevens, which is standard, no limit hold'em. All these weekend tournaments are no limit hold'em. It seems like they throw mixed games in here and there for the dailies and for the different 2500, but for the most part, the weekend events, the big giant marquee events, they're all going to be no limit hold'em. Getting closer to the end of the series, we find ourselves the weekend of July 14th, and this is a $1,500 closer. Another one of these big $1,500 events that seems like the standard World Series of Poker tournament. You spend the whole summer here, it seems like there's one of these going on at all times. The $1,000 flip and go is also going to be that weekend, which was, again, total madness last year. So hopefully it'll be equally as fun this year. And then that's it for the weekends. There's a $1,000 freeze out. They have a 10K short deck and a summer saver $500. But for the most part, that will wrap up the series. Obviously, we skipped over a lot of events, and we are going to do a deep dive into what it looks like week by week. But I wanted to just give us a primer, just a little basic information of what I'm hoping to accomplish. Hopefully, this makes sense and we can go forward from here. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. This is something I've never done before, and it's really been a lot of fun. Hopefully, I can continue making these, and we can get a really good plan, a really good look at what summer is going to look like. So stay tuned. By all means, like, subscribe, and I will try to put something more detailed together for our next video.